I don't like the fact that I'm questioning this.
No. And I'm really like trying to like not get into the conspiracy of it all, but like
Have you ever been victimized by new age spirituality?
We've been we've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist,
Yes,
snake oil salesman.
there are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted, they're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairannoyance.
A podcast of spiritual interference. Hello.
Hello.
How everybody doing? How everybody doing?
I know. We are speaking for the first time in a minute.
Yes. Summer is just a wild time, you know?
I know. I know. And we've had like a couple episodes in the bank that I just haven't been able to get my shit together to like publish, but we just put out the July forecast. We got another one that's about to come out, but now we're finally talking again for the first time in weeks, I think.
I know. Yeah, we had 4th of July and then my show. So
Yeah, first time in July.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So we're doing serendipity. So we're just kind of catching up on some shit. And if you've been here for a minute, you've heard Megan talking about how she's not eating carbs and she's like preparing for a show and everything. So the show is over and I don't know many details. I just got like a very high level overview on a couple things, but let's give the listeners an update on Megan's travels to Texas.
To Dallas. Yeah. So it was great. You know, I loved every minute of it. When I'm ready, I will kind of discuss what has been going on in my personal life. So this show has kind of been an outlet for me to just, focus my energy. So I didn't place, I didn't go pro, which was my goal, but, two things ended up happening that dramatically affected my physique. Fucking Mother Nature. Like, I got my fucking period. And it came early. That is not what you want for a physique competition. Sorry, listeners, but honestly, if you know a woman, and God, if you're listening, I hope you do. This is part of life. But like, I was raised Catholic, so I'm always happy to see it because, like Mother Mary, like just pregnancy at any moment. So always happy to see her, but not now. And you didn't have to come early. You didn't have to be like, like you could have been like, you could have not done that. So that happened. No big deal. But then prep brain, I totally forgot. Every time I say prep now, I think that you and I have such a different version of that word. Because,
Oh yeah.
Because you think of the drug and it's a lifestyle for me. But I had forgotten to take my digestion, like the most important digestion supplement. And I got hospitalized a little bit, after my competition, right before my competition and right after my competition.
Oh God.
Because of digestion issues the last go around. So Saturday night, I'm like, what, like kind of reviewing things. And I was like, oh my fucking God, you dumbass, you fucking forgot to take this. So my midsection was a little bit bloaty. But my posing routine was great. I felt beautiful. My suit was great. I had a great time. My family was there. I had friends there. Josh and my stepdaughter had a viewing party here. And so they were rooting me on. And I feel better mentally coming out of this competition than I did my last. I'm going to make some improvements. And I'm just proud of myself that I was able to make it happen. So I feel good, like now it's kind of, like I wanted to be able to kind of take a break though. I wanted to go pro and take a minute, but now my goal, you guys know I'm goal obsessed. Okay. And it's like, I got a restlessness in my spirit now where I'm like, you motherfucker. But it's good. I won't be able to pull this off or compete till 2025. So I'm going to wait for, feedback from the judges, which since I placed in the top 5, I will be able to get. I'm going to make the
Yeah.
necessary adjustments. But I feel like I haven't binged on anything. It's been very like
Interesting.
all my, and you guys know I'm an addict. So like I come off of prep and like I'm in it to win it. I mean, did I have some like good treats? I had some Texas brisket, but I have not, eaten a whole sleeve of rice cakes. I've not been, I mean, which is great, but it's like the disordered eating that I was somewhat concerned about. It's like, no. One thing though is that every time I get like super dolled up, it's almost like, am I a hobbit in real life? Like, am I a troll? Like, on the day to day, because every time I get like hair and makeup done, everyone was like, "Oh my fucking God." Like some people didn't even recognize me. They were like, "Megan." And I was like, it like you could tell it took them a minute. And I'm like, am I?
No, you're not.
I think I'm, like I mean, I look like a hobbit right now, but like in the day to day, it was like, does professional makeup and hair and eyelashes really make someone so unrecognizable? Because I think I'm tracking and looking just like a very better version of myself.
Well, I think that's the point of all that
I
stuff.
know, but it
You
was just
know?
like people would literally be like, Megan, my God. It's like even one of my coaches, like my Carrie, my guy coach, you could tell it took him a second. And I'm like, my dude, like I've been with you 3 years. Like, it's me.
Yeah. But also it's like especially amped up because you're like on a stage under lights and like that type of stuff is very different than like day-to-day makeup, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's, like in your spray tan, about
Yeah.
47 shades darker than you are. So it was a great weekend. So now on to the next one, baby.
Yeah, you got to post more pictures. You've got
Yeah.
a couple good things up that I've seen. So everybody check out Megan's socials, linked below in the show notes.
Yeah. I'm just getting some back today. And then also that we're at registration and fucking Trump gets shot. And then and then you drop which you predicted, by the way. You didn't predict that he would get shot, but the astrology was astrologying.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so there's something I want to say about that. Yeah, definitely like, and I wasn't remembering that at all. You know what's crazy is like I had a friend a couple weeks ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago, like
Huh.
so a week before he got shot, hit me up and was like, have are you seeing anything about Trump like in his astrology? Like, do you think I'm like apparently she saw two astrologers and then a psychic say something like he might not even make it until November, like that something might happen to him. And I was like, I don't know, because I'm not like looking at his chart. Like I looked at his chart and
Yeah.
Biden's chart like one time at that point. But I was like, but I need to start looking at their stuff because I'm running a election and current event astrology workshop for Bismos in August. So I need to start getting familiar with it. But I was like, I haven't been really like checking their stuff. So it's like, I don't know. And then like a week later, there he goes. But what's crazy is, and there were astrologers kind of talking about some of this, like, and we talked about it in July, the Uranus and Mars coming together, which happened technically on July 15th, just a couple days later, right? But like
Mhm.
Mars has this ability to really amp things up as it's approaching. So it was like it was right there. They
Yeah,
were conjunct.
it's war. It's the
Yeah.
god, that's the
Yes.
planet that represents war. So yeah, it's as
Yes.
it's marching towards you, it's totally gonna amplify what it has to
Yes.
do.
And I don't remember if I said this in the July forecast or not. I can't remember. But there are like I've been telling clients this, like when I've met with them, if this has been impacting them, I'm like, Mars and Uranus meeting up is like once every, 2.5 years about. But this one was like extra volatile because it was on a fixed star called Algol. And there's only two fixed stars that I really pay attention to. There's a ton of them, but I pay
Mhm.
attention to one that's really good and one that's really bad. And Algol is the really bad one. Algol is the Medusa star and the like decapitation star. Like literally like it's known for like violent decapitation.
Oh
Go
my
figure.
gosh.
So basically the Uranus Mars conjunction on Algol, planet of decap or fixed star of decapitation. Okay, this sudden, out of nowhere, violent thing on the planet of decapitation was on Trump's midheaven, which is the most public
Wow.
part of you. So go figure. This was on national, like live television. A bullet at his fucking head. Like,
Was
are you
whizzing
kidding? Isn't
by.
that
That's
nuts?
there.
And
Yeah.
Mars's guns, you know? Like I was
Ooh.
talking about it in July as like Mars being sharp objects and whatever, but also I
Yeah.
was talking about it as like weather events, and I was saying like
Hmm.
wildfires, hurricane, or like earthquakes,
Hmm.
lightning, things like that. But there was that mass fucking hurricane. I think in July I was like, it's not giving me like vibes of hurricane stuff,
Yeah.
but it did play out that way. And that was like all over Houston, right? Like Houston got
Yeah.
completely fucking
And they're
flooded.
still not having
Yeah.
power because of that. Is, I mean,
Yeah. Well, and I guess it impacted the power
oh,
grid, right? So, and that's
yeah.
Uranus. So the electricity got fucked from that. But that was a very big kind of out of nowhere thing in my mind. I don't know. Crazy. The
Seriously.
astrology has been astrologying. So I wish, like, I feel like if I had looked at Trump's chart and seen that that was happening on his midheaven, I would have been like, yeah, that's pretty concerning. Is he doing something public that day? You know? Although I think it was organized like 2 days in advance, so I wouldn't have really known like what he was doing.
It's pretty, all of this is pretty wild. You know,
It
the sad
is.
thing is that I don't trust any government entity. So I don't, like the situation around him, if this would have, let's say,
Dude.
I'm not, I don't want anyone to die. I think that that's, I don't condone violence. But the circumstances around this fella who shot him, like, this is strange, guys. This is it. The math ain't mathin'. And I would say the same thing about Biden, like, and honestly, I think it's just embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Like, that these are our two people that we're gonna, how many, 350 million of us, these are the two goobers. Respectfully, respectfully, we can't do better than this. Like, my
100%.
favorite, my favorite meme from the from when the debate happened was, I like both of the candidates, but I think we should find someone older.
Older. Yeah, I know. It's fucking devastating, like what is happening to this country.
Both
It is.
parties, like, this is all alarming. I mean, I don't like either. I mean, Project 25, that is scary. And Trump's trying to distance himself from that. But Bud, it was your cabinet that put together Project 2025.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have not heard of Project 2025, please look into it. I'm not, it's not good. I mean, no Social Security,
Well, and
like,
a lot, yeah, as people are like, well, I mean, we all fucking know Republicans don't research shit. But as they're hearing more and more about it, I have seen some of them getting really pissed. And I'm like abreast on a good fucking amount of that 1,000-page document. It's a lot, but like
wow.
you keep hearing more and more about it. And like on page, like, I don't fucking know, 725 or some shit. The one thing that I've seen go viral lately is that if you have a kid in public school fund getting government funding, then your kid is automatically going to be required to take some military entrance exam. And I've seen like Republicans be like, wait, what? Like my kid's going to have to basically like pre-register essentially, get pre-approved for
Wow.
military service because they're a public school kid, not a private school kid. That's a little fucked, isn't it? And there's a ton of Republicans that aren't in private school, So I think like
Yeah.
there's things like that where it's like, wait, this is actually like impacting my kid. Like you're now like putting my kid in a line of fire potentially. So I'm seeing them like as they become knowledgeable about anything, I think they're like, wait, maybe this isn't such a good idea, And I think with Trump's VP pick, especially now, that dude's a fucking douchebag. And he's not like he's very contradictory to Trump. He's like,
I was about to say he did not support him. I mean, he
no.
was not. And the guy's wife, I was talking with my friend Nicole yesterday, a big feminist, apparently, and she's brilliant. And it's like,
She's an Indian woman.
whoa.
She's a yes, no, like the party's platform is actively against his wife. Like it doesn't make sense. So a lot of Republicans don't trust him. He has very, very little experience. Like so that was a weird VP pick, to be completely honest. Like
I didn't even know he was up that his name wasn't even like thrown in the ring,
no.
for like
No, I think
what?
honestly, like I think the best like theory that I've seen is basically that like Trump needs someone he can boss around. This guy like has no
I
experience
wonder what
and
Mike Pence is thinking if his feelings are hurt.
yeah, if it was someone legit and with a bunch of experience, they're gonna look better, more well versed than Trump, Should something happen to Trump, they'll step up and be different. I don't know, or more legit in office as a VP. Like this guy's just gonna he's getting a major upgrade in his reputation because of this, and he's gonna like just fall in line to whatever Trump wants him to do. So I think that's why. I don't know. Um, okay, here's the thing I had to surprise you with. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen the fucking review on our Apple Podcasts page? Somebody left a real shitty review about me
What?
specifically. And it relates to this. So this is why I'm going to read this shit out loud.
I
I just saw this like 2 days ago. I'm not kidding.
Do you know who it is?
No, which is also fucking ironic given what they're having to say. Okay, so they rated us 2 stars at least instead of.
What?
I know
First off,
we've had like nothing but 5-star reviews,
you
and then this
clearly
person brought
have.
us down
I
to a
can't.
4.9.
This is silly because you have bad taste.
They have terrible taste.
Like, what are you having a bad day? Like what?
My guess is they're not even listening to our podcast. Number one, I think this was like a going out of my way to rate our podcast low. I think they came from another podcast that I was interviewed on, just lining up the dates of when this was left and when that podcast came out. I'm trying to like connect some dots here, which I'll explain. But okay, so here's the title of the review is "Just Come Out and Say It."
Oh no, bro. We just come out and say it, my man. Okay, you're dealing with a Gemini sun and a Gemini moon. Okay, there's nothing to.
I know. What are you fucking talking about? So here's okay. So they said Ryan lost all credibility when he went on a podcast. I don't think our podcast, when he went on a podcast saying voting for either candidate is the same, then proceeded to talk about Project 2025. Only one party is pushing fascism in this country. Of course, both parties have issues, but one wants to take people's rights away. You don't have to pussyfoot around it with the quote unquote both sides rhetoric. Bitch, let me not mince words. I will vote for a cockroach over Trump, number one. If you know anything about me, if you've listened to our podcast at all, you know who I'm fucking voting for and what side I take. Good God.
All
number
day.
one. Like number fucking one. Number two. Oh my God. I am a Gemini. So yeah, I'm going to have no problem talking about it, but I will also be taking perspective here. I'm going to look at other people's points of view. I've said also on this podcast that I understand why people would vote for Trump. I completely fucking understand why someone will get in that goddamn mindset. That was the whole point of that doppelganger book too. It completely gave me a whole beautiful understanding actually as to why that far right kind of QAnon movement has even started. It's been really interesting. So fucking read a book. You're going to understand a little bit more about different perspectives and why people might vote the way they do. I'm not having both sides rhetoric, you weirdo. I'm going to put myself into different perspectives and shoes because I can. But I have been very vocal about fucking hating Trump, would never align with him. That fucking said, to play both sides, as you like to put it, Biden's a piece of shit too. He's doing fucking nothing. Nobody fucking wants Biden. But also, here's what's ironic is this person, you can read this. If I read this to a Trump supporter, they would think that like this person supports Trump because both sides are saying the same language. So their review is itself taking both sides. They say only one party is pushing fascism in this country. Both sides call the other side fascist. So what do you I don't even know what side this person's on. And both like only one party wants to take people's rights away. Which side are you talking about, homie? I don't even know what side you're on because Trump supporters think Biden supporters are wanting to take their rights away and vice versa. So like I'm going to assume you're on Biden's side because that's my side, to not mince words again, to not pussyfoot around it, as you said.
Nickname taken 80.
But that's what's also funny is like they're mad at me for apparently being ambiguous and not just coming out and saying it while you're sitting here hiding behind some username, not even saying who you are. Send us a fucking email.
Yeah.
Call me out to my face. Tell me who you are.
Yeah, don't listen to our podcast.
And here's the funny thing is I think I'm going to be recording this weekend on the podcast that they heard. And I'm going to read the review on that person's podcast because they're probably listening to that podcast. So I'm going to have this whole conversation all over again. But just in case you're listening to this one, and for future reference, if anybody out there has any fucking issue with anything we do, maybe instead of like going and rating our podcast 2 stars, rate it 2 stars.
On the merit that you don't like us, not because of, like, and the reality is that this country, you have to have civil discourse. Yes, I don't agree with what the Republicans are doing whatsoever. I'm a woman and I want my goddamn rights. But at the same time, this just dislike us for who we are. That we get on your damn nerves. And trust me, bitch, I will get on your motherfucking nerves. But the amount of effort.
Yeah. If we do something outside of this podcast that annoys you, then deal with it outside the podcast. This wasn't even on this podcast. They said I went on a podcast. They were talking about something else. And then they took the time to come here and review bomb me and specifically call me out for trying. You know nothing about me quite clearly. Good Lord. It'd be so easy to tell what quote unquote side I'm on.
Have civil discourse. Be able to talk about people. I live in a red state with a whole bunch of Republican people that I love. It is important to be able to have chit chat about
exactly
life, and this is like a cliche, gross move. You have said all sorts of things. And there are Republicans who listen to our podcast because they are part of my group, and that's who they. That's how they vote. They have not left a nasty review. It's just like, to me, this is why politics are so silly, man.
No, I know it's silly, but also I'm just assuming because again, you didn't say, you ambiguous piece of shit. You didn't say what side you were on, and the language you used literally was both sides rhetoric. Okay. You didn't say anything, but I will say, like, I literally am from a Republican family. Like, that was my environment growing up. I do my goddamn research. I can literally step into both sides. Like, I can easily understand, and that makes me a more valuable person to discuss politics.
And also, if anything, I'm the one who's kind of straddled both sides. If you listen back, not you.
But it wasn't, they literally heard me on someone else's podcast. I don't think they even listened to this.
No, because I am registered as an independent. Okay, like when Donald Trump got elected in 2016, that's when I was like, I was so appalled by his hate speech that I then switched over to being a Democrat. But like, I have voted for both parties on all sorts. Now I'm alarmed with where the Republican Party has been going here lately. Truly, it's like,
oh my God. I mean, it's not even.
But then it's like also, what was the hullabaloo about them debating so early? Because there was talk about that they didn't give Joe Biden his meds so that they could oust him before the convention.
I think he really did just have a really bad night, but I think he's just progressively getting fucking worse. He's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And what's fucked right now is like I'm literally a politics nerd. I could talk about this up, right, left, and down. The latest polls I listened to that I saw were literally 10 hours ago. Okay. So like I'm looking up polls like multiple times a day that come out 10 hours ago. Trump is leading by so many points in states that should be blue. Like It's crazy. But then you also look at the polls of like Biden has no chance of winning right now. There's like literally no path to victory. It is gone completely for the Democrats, at least as far as the presidential election goes. But then you look at the down ballot races, Democrats are winning like crazy. So it just shows that Biden is like a patently bad fucking candidate. Nobody wants
Yeah.
Biden, but it's not affecting the like senators. It's not affecting the governors right now. Right now, but if Biden goes and campaigns in their states, he's going to diminish the down ballot races. Like it's not going to go blue. Like these people can't get close to Biden. And everybody, like the amount of politicians, Democratic politicians who have been now putting pressure on him, even fucking Nancy Pelosi now is like, it's kind of insane. These high level conversations that are being had and then leaked to the press to try and
Yeah.
put pressure on Biden to drop out. Nobody knows why he's officially not dropping. I think like the kind of like standard rhetoric I've seen is that Jill Biden probably is like, don't drop out, honey, and I think he keeps his very trusted
Right.
circle like small.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because hasn't Obama been like, hey, bud, like,
Obama at first was like very much like, nope, he needs to stay in the race. Michelle Obama, I saw this huge TikTok video she put out recently, and she was like, we need to come together behind Joe Biden, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's really annoying, but it's just like, there's no path to victory. And then if you look at Kamala, even, there's other people that I think would be way, way, way better that are polling way better. But if
yeah.
Kamala on her own is already polling way better than Biden. She has a fucking fighting chance against Trump. And everybody would get behind her, and it just makes sense. She is VP. If we skip over Kamala and go to some other white guy who's more progressive and who is polling better, we're still we it's a bad look for the Democrats because then we're like again sliding all the black women in this country because we're jumping over Kamala, and that's not a good
Yeah.
look. It's not. And it's like you got to compromise where you can get it anyway. Like seriously, if we all we need to do is get fucking Biden out of here. Like now. Like it has to fucking happen. Hopefully by the time that you guys are hearing this, he's not in office anymore. Like, please, God.
What's the astrology looking like? Is it looking
Well,
like
that's my thing. Like, I still haven't been looking up too much because I'm just like, I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I need to look it up. So I don't care to look it up for fun. I'm like reading the news for fun.
Yeah.
But like, the astrology I need to look up because next month, literally in August 15th, if anybody's interested, I'm doing a big the astrology of current events workshop through Bismos. And so
Cool.
I need to look it up by then, but it's been hard to look anything up because we don't know what's happening. Like, I don't want to spend a bunch of time researching
Yeah.
Biden's chart if he's not going to be the fucking nominee, So I could look at like
true.
Trump's, I guess, but I don't know if I should look at Kamala's. I don't know fucking know what to do. The American chart is nuts. Like I know that. Obviously, but Trump's chart we now know is like pretty fucking messed up. I need to go look at his chart in September because that's where a couple astrologers and apparently a psychic basically think like in September something might happen to him.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, and just a reminder too. You can have your opinion about politics, but I saw this meme going around. Please don't end friendships and people that you love and care about. Learn
Oh.
how to discuss over two old white crusty motherfuckers who don't give two fucks about you.
Oh,
Okay, dude. Like my God, I have these friends who are going at it, and I'm like, do you really think that Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden give a flying fuck about you? They
no.
don't. They would take you out in a second. But your neighbor or your buddy that you're hurt, no, y'all don't do it. God, it just burns my biscuits.
America is a disaster. I literally keep like looking at like other countries too and like what they're saying about us, and it's like so sad. It is so 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 sad. Like we look so dumb.
This is, I mean, I can we not just get along? My God, can
No,
we
I know,
not?
and it's like
Yeah, I'm just,
yeah. There's like kind of nothing to.
And the thing is, I can see, I don't promote violence against anyone, but it was wild to me to see some of the people that I know, via Facebook that have promoted a lot of hate. And then, your beloved bud, gets shot. And then it's like, have you no decency? And it was like, did you have
Yeah.
no decency for all the kids that have gotten shot?
Yeah.
Like you don't get to be, so virtuous and virtue signal,
No.
because violence is violence, and it's violent, period, guys. So it's like,
Yeah.
and when some,
No, and
it's
that's like I know Trump got shot immediately. All Democratic leadership were like, we need to like come together. This has to be like a time of unity for the country. There's no place in for political violence in America, blah blah blah. Republicans immediately started gunning in on Democrats and being like, it's your fault. Your rhetoric has been terrible. You've been calling us fascists and saying that like we're ruining America. And so go figure. Now you've riled up your base that this guy was a Democrat. Fucking go figure. He wasn't a Democrat. He was a registered Republican. There's no evidence to prove otherwise outside of a $15 donation to Act Blue, which isn't even a
no, that was an
political.
old man. That was an old man,
No,
though.
that got debunked. That was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It was him, and it was, but it's just $15, and it was to Act Blue. It's not like he voted or like donated to the Biden administration. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't it. So
It's wild that there's not a lot of information on this,
there's
like on
nothing
this
on him.
guy, like his parents were doctors or I think psychologists, and
And I'm sorry, we just found out like last night Joe Biden got COVID, right?
yeah.
Immediately we got doctors' updates. I'm sorry, now it's been about a week since something hit Trump's ear. We have nothing. We don't even know what hit his ear. Was it a shrapnel of glass? Like, did it break the teleprompter and that's what hit his ear? Was it the bullet going by? What is the fucking, there's no story. Can you imagine a world where that was Joe Biden and the Republicans would easily think that it was a cover up or some conspiracy? They would totally be thinking that, just like Democrats have been thinking, which I'm not saying is the right thinking, but
Yeah.
they would be thinking it was a conspiracy and they would be demanding that medical examination.
With and an innocent a dad, like a
Uh-huh.
father, lost his. I mean, I read what his daughter had posted, and it was like, regardless, like a family lost their dad, like that. This is people. They don't care about you. Do you understand? I mean, your neighbor cares about you. And this past weekend, obviously, I'm in Texas. And it's a blended group of people, that are attending this. I had some like hardcore patriots, and I mean hardcore patriots, next to me. I have some, super liberal folks, and it was just, but no one was talking politics, even with him getting shot. That was happening on registration day. Now, maybe it's because it's an Australian federation, but like he got, like word got out at registration that he had gotten shot, and it was like nobody said a dang thing about, like, he's alive, obviously, but just remember that people are people, and that we all, we all bleed red, and it's just, I don't like any of this, man. I really don't. It's so gross.
All of this is like literally terrible. Like, no matter what happens, no matter who wins, we're gonna have some very serious blowback to deal with. Like, this country's a
Well,
little
yeah.
fucked. And I don't know what could like be that point of unity. You know what I mean? I have no fucking idea what it could possibly be.
Well, you know what somebody said is like, and this is awful, but it's like, oh, what could be that point of unity? 9/11. And it's like, so 3,000 people have to die in one of the most horrific terrorist attacks. I mean, there's this horrible, I watched this documentary, and those people that jumped from the top. I mean, that's like, no,
Yeah.
that's what's going to take. Like, but we
But
are
I
a
don't even know
violent
that would,
nation.
because then there was immediately the call to fucking invade Afghanistan, right? And then immediately a bunch of people were against that, like the reaction to it. So it's like maybe there was like a 48-hour period of time where there was unity in the country.
Well, and yeah, I mean, you're so right. I'm totally just spoke from a spot of white privilege, because then anyone who is of a Muslim,
Yeah, there
that
was
they were
no.
terrified. I mean, they were harassed. So you're absolutely right. So that was
What is the point of unity? I have
my
no
bet.
idea, dude. I don't know that we'll ever actually really have it. I don't.
Well, and I think it's just like it's a matter of, like the right, people will care about your rights being taken away when it's your rights. So for those who, are against abortion, but women are now like the policies in place. When you say all abortions are bad, you are taking away a medical procedure that is harming women who are, it's just there's so much here, and I would encourage everyone to make sure your passport is valid, so you can and to have some backup funds in case. That's how scary this is getting. Like my passport expires in 2 years, and I'm like, great. Like, do I do I say I lose? Do I file for a new one so I can have a fresh passport and get out of the country and not have to wait? Like those are paranoia thoughts that go through my brain, and then I'm like, no, you're being silly. This is too much. But then who knows what's going
I
on?
know, but we're not being silly.
Who knows what's real? That's the thing. I hate the fact that there was an attempted assassination on former President Trump, and I'm like, is it staged? Is it real? Like I don't like the fact that I'm questioning this.
No. And I'm really like trying to like not get into the conspiracy of it all, but like the more that we are understanding, the more that does come out and the more that keeps not coming out, like literally the medical part of this, like why is nobody releasing what's actually happened to him medically? Who's the doctor?
And also, I'm curious. I want to reach out to my conspiracy theory friends who were right winged. So because if you can't flip around your conspiracy theory and see and view it from the lens here, that's problematic too, guys.
But they still, from what I've seen, the Republican conspiracy theorists are thinking of it like the Democrats did this. So they're still giving it a conspiracy. They are just not thinking of it like their own fucking party. Like it literally makes more strategic fucking sense for it to have been a Republican setup. Like it just fucking makes sense. Like that, I believe way more. I'm sorry, look at the Democrats right now. They're flailing. They can't get shit together at all. You think they could have fucking organized that? Come on. Like that's just logic. Like that is like simple fucking logic. The Republicans are incredibly unified and aligned right now. That happening right before the convention. How the fuck was that man able to scale that building when there was a whole police unit inside that very building? How the fuck?
And also they were alerted. Like
yes.
I mean, you saw the timeline where it was like he's a person of interest, and the second that he shoots, he's then dead. Like,
I know. I know, and you see videos of him like well before he's even shooting, and it's like, how was this allowed to happen? How was this allowed to fucking happen?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like now with the FBI taking over, but
people thinking it was like a Secret Service thing, but then I've seen this. I need to like verify still, but like I think I saw something that was basically saying like Trump did handpick those Secret Service agents who were immediately around him. So this wasn't like Biden put his worst Secret Service agents possible on it. No, that's literally not the case.
Once again, I think any like violence is not the answer here, but
no.
So,
it's not the answer, but like, have you seen the dude that's going viral on TikTok who's like was a like very trained protector of people in situations like that? Like, I don't think he did Secret Service, but he basically was trained in something that was like a lighter form of Secret Service. And he was like, this makes no fucking sense. And he's being very like apolitical. He's like not giving into Republican or Democratic discourse.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my God, I just sent it to you because he's like, this doesn't make sense. Like when something like this happens, like Trump is no longer in control of his body. Like you run his body. These agents, like one of them is in charge of like basically keeping him in a right angle, like pushing him down. They are trained to break joints and bones if they need to get this person lifted up off the ground and funneled the fuck out of there in a protected like sphere. They each have their own individual role to play in this, and then they shove the motherfucker in a car. He was like, there is no training in the world that should have let that whole scenario play out. Like that makes no sense to me.
There is a former Secret Service woman. Her name's Eva something, but she's been on like Lewis House podcast. She's been all over the place. I'll be really curious because she was on Obama's task force, so I'd be really curious to hear her perspective as well. Now that we're talking about this,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's all crazy. I am like annoyed at the Democrats for not like,
you need to get some Kendrick Lamar anger, okay?
yeah, they need to like have a fucking spine. I'm so, like you can both say like denounce that this happened to him and demand the release of the medical records and continue to say he's not going to be a good president and we need to fucking fucking fight here and like
Yeah.
do better ourselves. It's insane to me. We're living in some crazy fucking times.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, this was obviously we didn't have we were in pre-production of our podcast, but it was 2020 and I was in my office and I was like, who do you think is going to win? And you were like, I think, Biden based on the chart. And then you were like, but it's going to be a shit pregnancy. It's going to be a shit presidency based on or Pluto returns, the America's Pluto return. And so I'll be curious to see your interpretation when the time is right, because I was like, huh, and everything that you said, during that conversation, for whatever reason, just definitely stuck with me, and it's been true.
Yeah. Want to remember like at the what was it? I mean, I recorded it in April or something, but on Karen Rontowski's podcast for the second half of this year, I had said a lot. And I'm like, it's all fucking happening. But the crazy thing that I said, that just at that point, it seemed like, how is this going to happen? And it's now happening is that I was like, Joe Biden's going to go for that like scrappy, like Scranton Joe vibe, which is kind of happening, but it's more like in this delusional kind of scattered way, where he just looks like he doesn't seem as professional as he did, not as presidential. But then I was like, Trump is looking very aligned and he looks like he's got hella surrogates, like a whole team. It's not just about Trump anymore. It's about all these people that are around him and they're all fucking aligned. And the sense of unity on that side is insane. The celebrities he's getting now, fucking Amber Rose just spoke at the Republican National Convention. What? Like,
What?
yes. And he's getting rappers, like literally has a
50 Cent?
yes,
50
he's
Cent?
getting rappers to attend these rallies and they're all speaking on his behalf and they're saying the same shit. Everybody's so aligned on that side. But when I brought this up, this doesn't really seem to make sense because I know that he normally seems so scattered and unpredictable before, but I'm like, it just seems like he's got a whole team.
Yeah, he was so unhinged the last time and saying such hateful stuff that, it
Yeah, which
you
hasn't
can't behave
changed.
like that.
But it's
Yeah.
weird because I also said like he's going to be speaking more to families. Like he's going to be having this like family vibe where he's good for families and like that'll be like the rhetoric. And that has totally been the rhetoric. That was huge at the Republican National Convention too. It was just like how families are safer under a Trump presidency. And I'm like, people that I didn't think after that shooting that people post on social media supporting him that I didn't realize. I'm dead serious. Where I'm like, oh fuck, man, like he's literally reaching some people that I did not
And
anticipate.
and it was also the people the in-betweeners. That's the
Yep.
thing, is that the people who are in between and the people who only care about the economy,
Hmm.
which I understand, obviously, but that's been interesting from my perspective where, I'm talking to a lot of my white guy friends and they're like, no offense, but my business is suffering and this is what I care about. And under Trump, yeah, COVID sucks. And he said a few mean things and he had some mean tweets, but I was able to take care of my family better. And it was like, that's their perspective
I know it's understandable, but then it's like it's so hard to like just say it in these generalized ways because it's like, well,
all
Trump
day.
benefited from the administration before him that put these policies in place, which were finally in effect, and you could feel the economy being better because of what happened before him.
I'm concerned about, like, uh, how easy would it be to be a dictator at this point?
No, it will be so that's the problem. If I'm like literally like he's gonna get in office, the two old ass Supreme Court justices that are like pushing it are gonna just retire, and then Trump's going to put in two very young people that are on basically like Trump's side, and they will last the rest of our lives on that fucking court. And
That's
then
another thing. Yeah.
yes, but and then that's just like broadening everything. He'll extend term limits for himself. Like he's not going anywhere. If he gets put in, I don't think that we're gonna ever go back.
I was also I saw a TikTok and it was talking about George Bush's, so George Bush Sr., his dad, um, part of a coup, or they were trying to overthrow, I think it was FDR. I'm not sure but it was a Democratic leaning president. They were trying to overthrow that because they didn't like it and they wanted to install a dictator. Obviously, some businessman squealed on them. None of these old Texas white dudes got in trouble. They were like, "Hey, don't do that." But then, isn't it interesting? They were like, the TikTok creator was like, was his name Prescott? Did Prescott play the long game by training his son, you know, George Bush, and then you have his son, George W. Bush. But the thing about at least those two dudes is that you could tell they liked America.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I
for
mean, my
sure.
God, give me George, give me good old George. I mean, give it to me.
I know. Isn't it insane? I was thinking the other day that I was like, I kind of wish Sarah Palin was running. Like, remember how insane she seemed at the time? Like, she was a fucking joke. She was a joke. And now I'm like, what? It's a weird world that we live in when I'm like, I would rather have Sarah Palin.
Yeah. I I don't even
She was presidential. Like compared to what's happening now, she just looked the part. She could speak. She was fucking dumb, but she could fucking speak. Like I'm just like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is an insane country.
It's alarming. It is. Well, I mean, 4th of July, it's cancer. We're emotional, of
I
course.
know, I know. And I mean, truly, and the Pluto return of America. Like this was long
Oh.
predicted. Like this is the fall. This is the fall of the Roman Empire. It's like this happens. We're the newest country to go through something like this. It's the downfall of an empire. That's what's happening.
But the thing is that we are all interconnected. Like, so we are a global force. So that's, I think, what people don't understand. Like, if
I,
we go down, like it's a global economy, guys. So that's why everyone is so concerned. I
I know.
every I'm an internal optimist, so it's like, okay, what can we do here? What can we do here?
And I am an optimist, like, and I'm kind of feeling like, I mean, I think we are closer than ever at, as of recording right now that Biden might drop, like, especially now that he got COVID. Because before getting COVID, he was
Oh,
like, I will consider dropping if there is a medical condition that's like
I wonder if
given that
he's
will make me drop. And now it's like, oh, and now he's gotten COVID already. Like, it was really fast the way that happened. And before he was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So if he drops, we have a fucking chance. And if he drops, then the fucking narrative moves to that. The Democrats all of a sudden start getting the press again, and fucking the press is no longer on Trump's assassination attempt, which basically feels like old news now, which is insane. Isn't that nuts? It's just like that was like
hmm
I think it was honestly because it wasn't that serious. I mean, I'm saying that, but it's like somebody died, obviously. That's serious, but that's Trump had like his ear like nicked, like, and we don't even really know what happened. We don't even know if that was a bullet. It literally might have been the bullet smashing through a teleprompter and the teleprompter glass hitting his
This
ear.
is just a reminder. Like, I was not a political person until 2016. I did my research, I voted, but it's uh, you have to now, like, you have no choice but to have you can't be ignorant anymore. And then I also know people who are so overwhelmed and so over it that they're like, I'm not going to vote. I don't, it doesn't matter. It's back to that, like, apathy. My vote doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see how Gen Z turns out. I'll be very curious to see what that looks like.
I know they're taking a very apathetic route where like a lot of them I think it's their first time voting and I don't even know that they're going to because they're taking the Palestinian stance, which yeah, it's fucking crazy that I think the latest tally is like 168,000 dead Palestinians because
Right.
of all this shit,
Yeah.
and they're like making it a one party issue, which I do understand. But I'm also like, you are very short-sighted with that. Like, you're about to do that to us now. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
fucking get out and vote, if you are truly trying to leave this nation, by the way, I want you to get, I'm serious. I've actually been looking at this. Um, I'll put this in the show notes, but there's a website called wanderonwards.co
Uh-huh.
where you can get a master's degree abroad, find a job abroad, jobs in Europe for US expats, like break
Oh,
into tech abroad. Like there's a bunch of things that you can do to
cool.
leave this fucking great country and go somewhere that you deem more appropriate for you, which I do want to say is a thing because there is rhetoric that I've seen a lot right now of like, well, every other country's like going through crazy fucking shit and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that's true, but like that's largely things I hear people in the US saying, like that it's a shitty world out there everywhere else too. But then I've seen like a lot of Americans who have left who are in these other countries being like, it's really not that bad. Like this was worth it. This move was fucking worth
Yeah.
it. So if you're like trying to get out, there's a resource for you, FYI.
I just, like it, I you want to be a proud American, and it's sad because it's like
I just want to live. I just want to live and pay my
yeah,
bills, dude. Like I
yeah,
just want to fucking live.
true,
I'm so
true.
serious. I don't care about being American. If I need to call myself American and wave a flag around, I'll fucking do it. Just like let me live. Please.
Let me prosper. Yeah.
Let me fucking prosper and like stop caring about drag queens reading books to kids. Stop saying you care about that. We don't care that gun violence is the number one murderer of children right now. You don't care about kids. Like, what are you talking about? Stop
Well,
lying.
and what was the other thing? It was like, if the Secret Service couldn't protect the president, but we expect a teacher to,
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
and people are leaving in droves, education and healthcare
I
because of
know.
how we treat, and how we
These
work these people. It's insane. I mean, like, you don't even have to have a teacher's degree to be a teacher anymore. That's how desperate they are. Pay these people more.
I know.
I mean, God.
Well, and
And
but
get
that's why a
these.
lot of them are going to private school too, because you don't need a fucking degree to be a private school teacher. Like, and you get paid
Oh,
more.
wow. Like, let's figure out, like, Blackstone and like inflation.
Oh,
Let's figure, like, come on.
Blackstone pisses me the fuck off, dude. That pisses me the fuck off. I've been so into the housing issue with like hedge
Yeah.
funds right now, like eating up the market and
They
private
just
equity.
bought ancestry.com. So now they're going to have everybody's DNA too. I mean,
I'm not doing that. I'm not giving them my bio data. Although they probably have it some other way, I'm sure, at this point. Whatever.
digital footprint
Well,
did it.
on a like lighter end, just to like wrap this up, I will say, and it's a little more aligned with like the point of our podcast. None of this conversation was spiritual in nature, really.
Oh,
But
but it was. Yeah, because
yeah,
everything.
I mean, it's spiritual to
Uh,
fucking pay attention and be aware of things,
yeah.
and also spiritual to call out your fucking haters. Fucking reviewer, I'm so annoyed at this person hiding behind some dumb screen name there. Go update your fucking review if you're listening to this. Ew, you suck. Look at yourself. Fucking look at yourself. Anyway, on a different note, real quick. So I had a friend tell me for a while now that I needed to watch the TV show The Righteous Gemstones on HBO.
It's filmed in Charleston.
Have you seen it? I know. I just realized
Yeah.
that. You've
Yeah.
seen it?
I've seen some episodes. Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. And it's just
It is.
like it's like so up our alley. If you have never seen The
Uh-huh.
Righteous Gemstones, fucking watch it. It's all about the like mega churches and shit. It is so funny. It is raunchy. It is not for children, but neither is this podcast.
Danny McBride is yeah, he loved Charleston so much. You could spot him around. He moved him and his family here. And my friend works out with, I won't drop his gym, but like super nice guy. And yeah, my friend Katie was in extra in some of them. So yeah, man.
Yeah, they're looking for like I just saw they posted something they're looking for extras right now, I think, for season 4 that they're shooting.
Yeah.
But so funny, and they do deal with like, I mean, they deal with a lot of like outlandish issues. The show is just like a funny show, but like they do actually deal with some very serious issues related to like organized culty religion and like religion as a business and all of that. And I thought it was like really apropos. So I wanted to make sure I like brought that up in case anybody has not seen it and you have HBO.
Yes. Yep. 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 It is a hilarious show. I don't have HBO, so I watch it usually when my brother's around because he'll let me cruise, look at his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian and Leo.
Yeah. Yeah. It's socialized streaming.
Yeah.
Uh,
We appreciate you. Uh,
on that note, anything else?
Well, just remember that if any of this activated your inner gremlin, and you're feeling a certain way, take a look inside and ask why. And and unless you're giving us a 5-star review, keep that. If you have a problem with us, then let us know.
Literally let us fucking know. And you know
yeah.
what? That review did activate my inner gremlin. And you know what? I did look inside myself. And what I heard when I looked inside no. And what I heard when I looked inside myself was, you fucking go on a rampage, Ryan, and call this motherfucker out on every goddamn platform that you have. You make sure that this person feels completely embarrassed and never shows their face in public ever again because of what they did to you, Ryan. That's what God told me.
If you could see the hot fire expression that was coming out of my man's face here. And here's the thing too. Sometimes when your inner gremlin gets activated, you should stand up for yourself.
Oh, fuck yeah, I should. Because that was like truly wrong. It was like if you know goddamn anything about me, you know that what you said was wrong. Number 2, this wasn't even something you heard on our podcast. And then you come to bomb this podcast. And number 3, it was a personal attack on me. And you're a part of this podcast. So now it impacts you. This is your ranking too, because this is your podcast too. So like this person is just foul.
Well, yep. No, I'm in total agreement. And if you know Ryan, in real life, he's fucking lovely. So
yeah, I'm fucking lovely. Look what you do to people. That's the energy you spread, the hatred that you cause on this world. Ew.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
And no, not nice, not necessary. When I say we, it's really Ryan. Ryan put so much time and effort into this to edit. And I mean, everything. I always say I'm just the talent. I show up and flap my jaw. And, so that is why he rightfully so is taking this so personally. It's okay to dislike someone, but this cancel culture, that's what I'm so over it. So dumb.
I know. And more than anything, I think it's that I'm like in a 360 end, everywhere I look, I feel like I'm just watching dumpster fires all over my fucking life right now. So then when I had to scroll and see that, I was like, wait, we went to a 4.9. Who gave us less than a 5-star review? And then I saw that. I was just like, and it's of course targeted at me, just at me. Fuck it. Like the last thing I need is this. I had a bartender the other night get mad at me for something, a joke I said, just got mad at me in front of everybody at the bar. And then it finally got realized that it was like a misunderstanding and a joke, and he apologized and whatever. But I was like, this is the last thing I need. Like one more, why is everything going wrong right now? So it's just more of like that type of thing where I'm like, you never fucking know what somebody's going through before you fucking do some shit like that review. Like just step back and think for a minute.
Yeah, it really could. Yeah, no.
Oh my God. Like it set me off clearly.
Understandably.
Like, could I get a loving message? Could someone fucking like DM us or leave us a 5-star review and give us some
I was about to
love.
say, to everyone who's left a 5-star review, thank you so much.
Very much thank you so much. Because we do have some really nice ones on there for sure.
We really do.
Yeah.
And so,
I think that they went and review bombed. They didn't write a review, but I think that they lowered our Spotify score too.
That's not nice.
I
That's
know.
not nice.
They went out of their way because they think I'm playing both sides as if I'm the deciding factor for your vote. And also, where's your platform? Where's your face and name publicly speaking out about fucking anything? You're pussyfooting around. Ooh, I'm so mad. Ugh, anyway, let me go meditate,
Y'all send Ryan some good energy.
please.
You're a 5-star in my heart always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. On that note, everybody,
Peace out.
you're all 5-star listeners,
You
except for
better
one of
believe
you.
it. Except that. Well, yeah,
Except one of you. 2-star listener. Just kidding. We love you. I'm going to practice loving kindness for the rest of the day. And I'm going to wish nothing but beautiful things to come your way.
That's right. That's gonna help. That's because it's gonna reflect back to you. So you know that face.
One day I will be blessed.
You are blessed right now, baby.
I am blessed right now.
Blessed and highly favored.
Okay. Well, until next week, everybody.
Toodaloo. We love you. Thank you.